Hello, and welcome to Book 4, Chapter 11 of You Should Be Reading. This week, I'd like to talk to you about The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. Now, this is a book that I've heard quite many good things about. Uh, Several big name people, webcomics, and whatnot that I follow are hugely popular about him. They like Patrick Rothfuss. He's been doing a lot as well uh, in the charitable community, as well as writing his own things and doing some pretty cool, fun stuff. Now, I've heard good things about the book um, and its sequel, The Wise Man's Fear. Never got around to reading it until recently. I finally picked it up and gave it a good read through, and it is delightful. Absolutely delightful. It is very much on the level of a high fantasy, but the high fantasy that is kind of lighthearted, playful a little bit, not so heavy, even though there is darker moments, there is drama moments, and all that good stuff. But it's not so heavy as like um, the Lord of the Rings or some other things like The Wheel of Time. The Wheel of Time gets really heavy quite early on in it, and this doesn't really hit that. It just hits that sweet spot between high fantasy and lighthearted, fun reading, and I really enjoyed it. Now, this particular book deals with, of course, our protagonist, Kvothe, spelled Kwothe, and you first meet him at an inn after he's all famous and everything. Someone tracks him down and convinces him to tell his story, and that's where this book is. It is mostly about him telling the first part of his story, a story that he says will take 3 days to tell. And this is book one, which is dealing with the first day of him telling his story. So there's going to be two more, one which is already out and the second which isn't. And I've heard that Patrick Rothfuss has not been, that there's no word on when the third book is coming out. So I'm going to hold off on reading the second one, just so that I'm, you know, in that good headspace when it comes out. I don't want to get myself all super excited for the third one and then be waiting for a while. Now, it's all about his rise, his journey from being a traveling performer with his parents in the traveling troupe, the actors and whatnot, his education there at the hands of a magic user, and then his journey from tragedy through the streets of a city and into the university where he's going to learn how to be a magic user, an arcanist, as they say. And that's what it deals with. It deals with a lot of things that the young Kvothe has to learn. And I really quite like how it's all laid out. That there's so much more to come only makes me excited, especially if they're all this thick, because this is a nice size for a book. It's nice and big and thick and meaty, and I really enjoy it. Uh, See, I don't want to go into too much detail. There is a young lady, a love interest. He's seeking out the name of the wind because there are people that are called namers that can literally call upon the elements by calling its name. And it's amazing, wonderful, wonderful, meaty high fantasy. And he does a wonderful job of um, exploring the world and doing things with it and whatnot, teasing you, making you want to find out more about it. So kudos to you, Mr. Rothfuss, for that. I really enjoyed Quoth or Kvothe. They actually make that particular thing that his name is like Quoth is how it's spelled, but Kvothe. So it's really interesting. Um, there's all kinds of things kicking around in here. There's evil magic, there's old stories, songs, delightful little things going on that I quite enjoyed. So I'm definitely looking forward to the next ones. Mr. Rothfuss, if you're watching this, please get those out there. People want to read your work, obviously. So would I recommend it? Absolutely. I would absolutely recommend it. I could ramble on quite a bit about this particular book. I could poke and prod and go, yep, read it, look at this. This is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. But I don't want to spoil too much. I've already fear. I fear I spoiled too much as it is with what's in this book because it is one of those delightful, delightful books to read. If you like fantasy, if you like anything along those lines, this is a book to check out. So until next time, as always, if you like what I'm doing, please give that like button a tap. Give that subscribe button a tap as well if you haven't already, so you can be kept apprised of when I do new videos. Usually try and get at least one video a week, if not more. And throw a comment in the comment section. Have you read The Name of the Wind? What did you think of it? Do you have any other books like The Name of the Wind that you think I might enjoy in the fantasy genre? Throw a comment in the comment section. I'd love to get a discussion going with some people. And until next time, remember, you should be reading The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. And I'll see you next time.